Welcome to Potion Sword Run. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Fallout Season 2, Episode 1. Geek out, questions, things that have been answered. Anything that has to do with Fallout, I'm going to talk about it. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments and we'll geek out together. It starts off with Loosey Goosey and the ghoul being typical them. Loosey Goosey is still trying to save people, being nice, and the ghoul is looking for headshots. They encounter the Great Khan, is one of the gangs, I guess, that inhabit the Mojave Desert in Las Vegas or New Vegas. And yeah, it's pretty gruesome from the beginning. You know, like I said, Lucy's trying to save people. She's still a little bit naive, doing headshots, butt shots, and the ghoul is just tearing everybody apart. So at least the gore is still here. Now, this episode centers around a mind device. Mr. House uses it on some construction workers where you're able to control them to a certain degree. It's not quite there, but later on in the episode, Lucy's father goes into a vault in Las Vegas that he's been traveling to, and he's gonna continue the work of making that device smaller. Now, he talks to somebody over the phone or computer, and I'm not quite sure who that is. It doesn't answer, so mysterious question there that hopefully they answer this season later on. Now, besides that, it pretty much centers on Lucy and the ghoul trying to get to Las Vegas. They come across a vault, one when they're looking for answers, mostly for the ghoul looking for his daughter and his wife. I think it's his ex-wife. I think they got a divorce last season, but they didn't talk about it, or they split up or something. Anyways, he's looking for them, and you know, each vault out there has experiments. This one that they encounter is pretty much trying to convert Americans into commies. And I guess somehow it worked, just, you know, mind control type of stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see, like, when they enter all these different vaults, how they have all these different experiments going on. Speaking of vaults, Norman, who was stuck in the Overseer vault, whatever it was called, we finally found the solution to him getting out. And it was what I expected. He's just going to open all the cryo chambers and create mayhem and just pretty much, you know, free everybody. And I'm not sure what's going to happen from then. I mean, obviously they're going to leave because they need to, you know, leave. They're going to want to leave. They're not going to want to go back in the cryo chamber. Like, why would you? So that's going to create some interesting mechanics coming out next, you know, few episodes. So it's good to see that Norman just, you know, they didn't like gag-a-lag and like stretch out Norman being stuck in there for the whole season. Like, first episode, you know, they took care of it. So I really like that this season, or at least this show, isn't just like just spraying it thin, you know, and just like oh, come on, man, just do it. No, they're actually doing action and they're moving the plot forward, because you know there's a lot of shows out there that just drag on and it's just like gets boring and stuff, you know. So anyways, I really like that they really answered that question on how he was gonna get out. Which brings me to Vault 33, which was the original vault with Overseer Betty. Now, she was asked about Norman, and she lied, saying that he was sent to some kind of leadership program. So, and then and a little bit after that, she actually talks about how people don't know, like, the lengths of stuff that she has to do. And so it begs the question to me, like, is she evil because she's lying to everybody? You know, and Norman's out there trapped, probably gonna die. Or is she just like how does the new overseer get the directions from like how do they just fall in line? You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's a big question that I have when it comes to overseers. Like, are there just certain people that are just chosen, like the chosen ones, the executives, and they just lie to everybody else? Like, they're in on it and nobody else is, or they get to learn when they're overseers? I'm not quite sure. So I'm not quite sure if Betty is evil, because she looks to be caring about Vault 33, but then she also covers up for the buddies, whatever they used to call them. So that's a question that I'm still confused about Betty. I'm not sure if she's evil or not. And then it brings me to Vault 32 with Chet, who's stuck in a dilemma, raising a baby who's not his, raising a psycho's baby. And then she goes and messes up the whole computer system, you know, messing everything up and messing up the interlink between the votes so they can't talk to each other, which I'm sure is going to cause mayhem going forward. So there's just a lot of stuff that's just going on that's gonna cause a lot of problems. Vault 33, they have a water problem. Norman laying everybody out. Vault 32, they just shut down their freaking communication comms. Like all the vault dwellers too are also kind of a little quirky and shit. Don't really know what to do. It says to split, you know. So I don't know. This is interesting season so far. And then we also come across some interesting characters. Like last season we had the chicken fucker. This time we have that lice lady, where she goes and Lucy goes and buys a bowl of lice soup. And I was like, lice soup? And when they show it, it's freaking gross. You see like little lice in the dirty water and like shit just jumping around. And Lucy tastes it? Like, what the hell kind of shit is that? That was gross. The funny part is that she didn't care about her son. All she cared about was that the son owed her money. And if they found his corpse, the money belongs to her. That's some, that's some insane shit. But I really love the damn side characters that they have in this show. And then one interesting part when they had the throwback, when they had all the executives sitting around the table talking about dropping the bombs, they still haven't answered who that guy up there in the shadow is. Like, who was that guy? And he's the same guy that Lucy's father is talking to in the end, like on the computer, or leaving that message for. So this episode is setting up future questions, to be answered hopefully. But it's moving the plot along quite nicely. It's still, as good as the first season. Yeah, I can't wait to see more. I really don't have too many questions besides, who the guy up there they're talking about, who the father's talking to on the computer. But yeah, so far so good. Can't complain. Now let me know if you have any questions or if you saw something that I didn't see. Maybe you want to geek out on something else. But it was very refreshing to see like similar places in the game that there is on the show, like the hotel, the dinosaur, and the list goes on. But I really like that they're bringing in new lore too into this, and like the Flea soup. Just awesome to see this show continuing in the same direction where it looks like it's gonna be good. I can't wait till next episode, and then I'll get back to you then. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.